Pre-mobilization meetings, the game changer in construction. In this video, I'm going to talk about why it's not good enough to just start a trade and have them show up on the site. And it's not even just good enough to have them show up after a pre-construction meeting. What we need to be doing is preparing them pre-mobilization, but right after they have an executed contract, so that they know what to expect and we can set them up for success. So in this video, I'm going to give you the agenda, I'm going to talk about the purpose, and how this will literally change the game for everything you do on your project site. So stay with us. Okay, so I love this topic. This is a meeting that is not very common. If you talked to people in the industry, they would typically say, yeah, I'm used to a first in place mock-up, I'm used to a pre-construction meeting, but we don't often do the pre-mobilization meeting. So that's what we're going to talk about. This is key because it's not right, in my opinion, to ask a trade to start their work or to even come to the pre-con meeting unless you've said, hey, this is what we need. So the pre-mobilization meeting is really a this is what we need meeting. It's the, hey, you have a contract now, please be preparing this so we can set you up for success. It's absolutely crucial. Consider what would happen to your projects if you did this with at least all of the high-risk features of work on your project site. It would be remarkable. So this fits in the overall system of the buyout meeting, which is in another video. By the way, we'll link you to these other videos in the description below. But you do your buyout meeting so you have the right scope and an executed contract. The pre-mobilization meeting sets the trade partner up for success by asking for what they'll need in the pre-construction meeting. The pre-construction meeting is where you gather all those deliverables, the plans, the specs, the submittals, hopefully approved by that time, needs to be approved by that time. Any RFIs, any ASIs, any trade-specific checklists, the quality plan for the trade partner, the safety plan for the trade partner, the emergency contact numbers, you get the idea. You're collecting all of that. And then in the pre-construction meeting, you're sitting down with the superintendent and the foreman for the trade partner and saying, this is what we're doing. That then enables you to create a quality checklist that then can be used to build in the field for your first in place mock-up or your first initial inspection, then your follow-up inspection, then your final inspection. So that's how it works. The reason the pre-mobilization meeting, which is what we're talking about now, is so key is because it's not going to work if you just surprise them with this. You need to prepare them months earlier. So here's the deal. I love this. Your pre-mobilization meeting can either be an email, a phone call and email, or it can be an actual meeting. So if it's like mechanical, I'm going to have a meeting. If it's electrical, I'm going to have a meeting. If it's an exterior scope, curtain wall, metal panels, I'm going to have a meeting. If it's, and I'm not making fun of these other ones, they're just as important and complex, but if it's like perimeter insulation or interior wall insulation, or it's this one-off little scope, do I need to take their time for a meeting? Maybe, maybe not. So when I talk about pre-mobilization meeting, it can either be a meeting, a phone call, and an email, or just an email listing out the expectations. So tailor it to how complex the work is, please. But the bottom line is you want to set them up for success. So let me go through the agenda right now. So the people that need to be in this meeting are the trade partner's project manager at a minimum and the general contractor's project manager or project engineer at a minimum to make sure that they're preparing the work. The purpose of the meeting is to explain to the trade partner the deliverables required at the pre-con and commit them to being able to deliver it by that date so they can start on time. The key things that I like to cover from an agenda standpoint are these. Number one, as in all of these 6 meetings that I'm going to talk to you about as a part of, this is called the trade partner preparation process, you will want to review the owner's top 10. What are the key things that they really care about, right? This and every project I've ever been a part of, this comes to the forefront. I'll give you 2 examples. One example is the plans and specs showed a very specific design for a lobby on the ground floor for the elevator, okay? And we were installing it per the plans and specs, but the owner and the designer really were looking for some very specific things above and beyond industry accepted tolerances from an alignment standpoint. They wanted this to be their showcase lobby in front of the elevator, very particular. And they needed some pretty specific and above and beyond things from the metal panel installers when it came to the alignment. And that was super fair. Like it's not a big deal. But if we had just gone in and said, hey, we're just going to build this according to the plans and the specs, and we didn't understand their vision for the space, we would have done it wrong and not finished on time. Let me give you one more example. There was a building I remember in Tucson that had 2 back of house stairs. There were other stairwells that were showcase stairwells, but these stairwells in the back of house were just your normal egress stairwells. I mean, access and egress, but they were mainly used for exiting the building and for a fire escape. And they just had a normal design. It was normal metal stairs. There wasn't anything specific when it came to the polishing or the grinding of the welds. There wasn't anything specific about the finishes, but the owner was like, no. I understand this is what fits in the budget, but I still want them to look nice. So because we knew that, did some extra work specifically because they were metal stairs, with how all of the connections were welded to make sure they were smooth transitions, that the paint was very, very nicely done. Again, that the alignment was looking nice. And if we hadn't done that, it would have been a mess and we would not have finished on time. So the key, here's my point. Know the owner's top things that they really care about that may not be exactly communicated in the plans and specs, and deliver that. And this is a specific time to talk about it, because in both of those instances, it affects the shop drawing. So we've got to tell them right now in the pre-mobilization meeting, it's not fair to be like, oh, you're starting in 3 weeks. We want you to do above and beyond. The trade partner would be like, we are way past that, right? So make sure that's a key focus. Number 2, if your company, again, has any specific checklist, quality checklist, installation checklist, work package, historical data, historical durations, anything like that, confirm that information and those expectations with the trade partner in this meeting again. Because if you really want it done, it has got to be repeated. So you've already mentioned it in the buyout meeting, you'll mention it in the pre-mob meeting, and you will mention it again in the pre-construction meeting. So repeat that and make sure you're always going through your company specific checklists and expectations. Number 3, make sure that you're going through all of the deliverables that you expect. So this is your wish list. This is not wish list, your requirements list. You will say, okay, I would like the submittals done and reviewed and possibly revised and resubmitted and approved by this date for the pre-construction meeting. And you will schedule that pre-construction meeting right then and there. So you'll get a commitment with that. And you will say, we need all RFIs to be answered by such and such date to support the submittal process. We will need your safety plan, your quality plan, your emergency contacts. We will need insurance by this date. And we will need any other deliverables that are required for the pre-con meeting by such and such date. You will make sure you have a full list so that the trade partner, what they should hear is, oh, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, by this date. Okay, good. We can commit to that. We're on track. And you've set them up for success, and you can show up to that pre-construction meeting successfully. Number 4, and this is key, this is huge. Not only will you give some thought to your schedule of values and how you are going to break out certain budget items for billing with the trade partner, but you also need to understand your definable features of work, the breakouts with those. And here's what I mean by this. Okay, let's say you have a mechanical contractor, okay? And they think, oh, I'm going to do the pre-mobilization meeting and 1 pre-construction meeting. No. If that contractor has the overhead mechanical in wall, obviously the equipment install, the air handler install, final commissioning, you're probably talking about 4 or 5 different pre-construction meetings for the specific crews, because the pre-construction meeting is to onboard and orient the crew. And a mechanical scope, mechanical and plumbing, will have months or years worth of scope on that project site. So 1 pre-mob, possibly multiple pre-construction meetings. You need to be very specific about that, because, and this is key, I hope you're really paying attention. This is an amazing video, so much so, I hope you like and subscribe. But here's the key. Your purpose, and I would say your main or your sole purpose in the pre-construction meeting, is to take the information, the plans, the specs, the expectations, and loop it into a checklist or a visual quality board or a visual installation guide that the crews can use to install. So here's why that's important. The submittals should tailor to how you're going to build within the work package. Your quality checklists should tailor to how you're going to build in the work package. The crew composition and what foremen are leading in what geographical areas should be tailored to how you're going to install in that work package. Everything should be tailored in that direction. So you're going to want to list your breakouts for the overall scope so that they know how to format their submittals. They can start preparing the quality checklist for the installation, and they can allocate the right labor so that you can have the right pre-construction meeting for each of those specific scopes of work within the overall contract. So that is something that you'll want to outline right away. And finally, you'll want to define any office requirements, any project management requirements, anything that's required for billing, for submitting RFIs, get them on the same page so that they're onboarded to the systems, and cover anything else that might be pertinent from the buyout meeting or in preparation to start their work. This is your time to ask for what you need, and don't forget at the end of this to make sure that they have what they need to deliver it. Ultimately, this meeting is key because you're preparing them for success. It's not right to just surprise them and ask them to just show up. We need to be partnering much sooner than that, and you do that with this key step, the pre-mobilization meeting. And in the description below, I will give you a link to the meeting graphics. And I also want to ask you, please reach out to us if you need help. We can help you with this process and train your team. Additionally, the First Planner System book will be coming out August 1st of 2024. Please pick that up. We'll put it in the description below once it's on Amazon. I hope you have enjoyed this video. On we go.